You get a starting point guard, Brandon Jennings, which that gives you kind of the upper hand to possibly sign him next season because he's going to be a free agent. And let's be honest, the Knicks have had problems signing free agents. So getting Brandon Jennings there early is a great thing. Do I think it's a little more advantageous for the Knicks? I do, surprisingly, because we're talking about Carmelo Anthony, who a couple years ago was a top 10 NBA player. So it is kind of surprising saying that any trade involving Carmelo Anthony would be favored to the Knicks. But I think the Knicks would win this trade. But I think it's good for both. What do you think, Mark?
Yeah, I would happen to agree. I see what they're building in Detroit. And if you get Carmelo and just like, you hear the things, he doesn't play defense, he doesn't do this, Stan Van's going to have a team full of defensive players around him. You put Carmelo Anthony with Andre Drummond, that could be a problem and a half. And then all you really have to kind of fill them around with shooters and guys who play defense. So I think it's good there for the Knicks. I think, just like you alluded to, I think it's also good that you'll have the draft pick, you'll have Stanley Johnson, you'll have Brandon Jennings. He'll be able to come back. Jerian Grant is waiting in the wings, so you're kind of solid point guard. And Ilyasova is a guy can play some offense, but the draft pick, if you have that high draft pick and it's for this draft, that's really, really good.
Well,
this is a draft you want to have a pick in.
Well, if Melo went to the Pistons, I don't think it would be necessarily a high draft. You're talking about a mid-first round to late, probably around
good.
20. Yeah, 15 to 20.
For this draft, that's good.
For the Knicks,
Yeah, I agree.
But here's my thing. Chris, I know you were kind of ready to tag in. So, Chris, what's your thought on that real quick?
Well, why would Detroit want to take on Melo's contract? He's owed over $100 million.
That's a great
and not
point.
only that, he's going to come in, he's going to jack up 30, 35 shots a game and ruin whatever chemistry that Detroit's built.
Well, here's a question.
It doesn't make sense.
Okay, here's a question.
Here's another thing. Why would Detroit go and kill their already poor depth even more by trading 3 guys for Carmelo?
Here's the thing. We all know the Pistons don't have a closer at the end of the game. If you consider Reggie Jackson your closer, there's your first problem.
They don't have a go-to offensive guy.
Here's the thing.
I mean,
but Detroit's always been built around defense.
Yeah, but now, today's NBA, I'm telling you, man, everyone always talks about defense, and we'll get to this here after the break.
Mm-hmm.
Offense is the way to go in the NBA nowadays.
San Antonio?
You got it. San Antonio can score. They can
put
score.
up points.
But they still have defense.
But they can score.
But they score.
But they don't have the go-to scorer.
They got 5 guys.
Their whole damn team.
But exactly, they don't have the one marquee guy. But they don't need a Melo.
Here's the question, though. So Chris, to piggyback off your question and your point on this one, here's the thing. With Detroit, if you add Carmelo Anthony, your big three now becomes Carmelo Anthony, who is your main guy. You have Andre Drummond to clean up all the mess on the defense side and also rebounding. And Reggie Jackson could be the guy that just pretty much is the catalyst. Neither one, Jackson or Drummond, is a franchise player. They're neither one are going to be the guy at the end of a game that's going to sit and take the game over. Carmelo Anthony is in the right position, in the right spot. I'm not saying this deal is going to happen, but it's a little bit better of an option for both teams, especially if the Knicks implode going down the stretch, going to the deadline. You get a first-round pick out of it. And plus you get a guy who's a top 5 talent in the draft, is Stanley Johnson anyway. We'll get to that in the break, and Chris also has a trivia question for Marc Johnson as well, too, since he's a big college basketball guy. This is Full Court Press Radio, sponsored by SOFOELLC and the new 96.9 The Game. We're right back after the break.
Northbound on the 417 between Boggy Creek Road and Lake Nona Boulevard, an accident has closed down the roadway. You may want to use Boggy Creek southbound to northbound Narcoossee and then back onto the Greenway as an alternate. Westbound on the 408 is stop and go from Conway Road to about I-4 due to a crash blocking your left lane. And watch out for a crash westbound on the Beach Line between I-Drive and I-4, this wreck blocking your right lane. See traffic problems, call the Safe Touch Security Tip Line, 866-676-8477. From the Traffic Center, I'm Catherine Davis.
The Herd is taking over,
which is pretty cool, and it's real.
Nearly 20 million people have tuned in.
So you say you're down with it?
That's right, 20 million. With an M. The Herd is being heard all over the world. Especially if you listen on iHeartRadio. Get in and join the revolution.
Tell me you weren't thinking this too.
It's The Herd with Colin Cowherd. Right here and everywhere.
Weekdays at noon on FM 96.9 The Game. Hey fans, this is Eric Kohler, stadium voice of UCF football. We invite you to tune in to EK Sports every Saturday from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. as we feature the preferred picks of the week, insured by our good friends at Preferred Benefits Consultants, where it's always fun to pick those games of the week, but never a time to gamble with your health care. Find a Preferred Benefits Consultant at OrlandoHealthExchange.com. That's the letter X, OrlandoHealthExchange.com, and start saving today.
Looking to expand your reach and following in all platforms of media? Need a jumpstart in expanding your brand to all markets across the world? SOFO is here for you. SOFO means something for everyone, and they help expand your business through all platforms of media. Need to grow on Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram? Their experienced team expands your brand and puts your business in places you would have never been before. Call SOFO at 407-607-9862 or follow SOFOELLC on Instagram and Twitter.
Okay, if you need money and you own a home, then you need to know that banks are aggressively lending again. Write this number down or store it in your cell phone, but call 1-888-455-3669. That's 1-888-455-3669. When you call, you'll reach the National Home Mortgage Hotline. This is not a bank or a direct lender, but a free referral service that works with dozens of lenders nationwide to help you find the best loan for your particular situation. For a home remodel, for a vacation, to consolidate your credit card bills or other debt, buy a car. The money's yours to do as you wish. Or you can simply refi your existing mortgage and possibly save hundreds, even thousands of dollars per year on monthly payments. There are even plans with low or no closing costs or points. The National Home Mortgage Hotline is also great for first-time home buyers. In addition, low credit score is not a problem, and you can get approved in as little as 48 hours. Call 1-888-455-3669. That's 1-888-455-3669. Money rates are still at a historical low, but that may not last forever. Call 1-888-455-3669.
Welcome to Late Night Parents. I'm your host, Ted Hicks. We have a weekly podcast where we sit down and talk with game changers in the sports, technology, education fields. We even do product reviews and giveaways. Why, you ask? Because we're all parents. So if you're ready for an up-close and personal look, then you can check out our podcast. New episodes are available every Thursday. Catch us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter, that's Late Night Parents. The site is latenightparents.com.
If you or your partner has a curved penis, it could be a condition called Peyronie's disease. 3 to 9% of adult men are estimated to have Peyronie's disease. Ask your urologist about the available treatment options and check out learnaboutpd.com for more information.
Brought to you by Endo Pharmaceuticals.
Achieve game day glory all football season long at Smoky Bones with all-you-can-eat wings for just $10.99 every Monday night starting at 9 and $3.75 beers all day, every day. Visit the newly remodeled Smoky Bones on East Colonial or another location near you. Golfers, the newly renovated world-class DeBerry Golf and Country Club is now open. Come play the best Tip Eagle Bermuda greens in Central Florida. DeBerry Golf and Country Club is a member of Club Corp, providing access to over 300 golf, dining, and tennis clubs nationwide. Play for a day or become a member with no initiation fee and 50% off dues for the rest of 2015. Rediscover DeBerry Golf and Country Club today. Call 386-668-1705. 386-668-1705.
Are you looking for your dream home? Or are you looking to move out of your current home and find the home to start the next chapter of your life? Look no further. Jim Fouquet with Century 21 Rue Realty is your go-to guy to help you with all your needs. Specializing in West Orange County, Lake County, and Ocoee, his goal is to take care of you from the beginning to the end and is not satisfied until the job is complete. Stop by 401 West Colonial Drive, Suite 7, or give him a call, 321-945-6832. Jim Fouquet with Century 21 Rue Realty.
When's the last time we did something off the hook?
The new FM, 96.9 The Game.
We are back on Full Court Press Radio, sponsored by SOFOELLC. 407-916-8255 is the number if you're in Orlando or nationwide. 800-729-8255. Dan Thompson here with you tonight, as well as Paul Myers, Marc Johnson, Zach Oliver, and our super producer Chris is also chiming in every couple minutes. Chris, we were talking college basketball earlier. I know you wanted to chime in before we hit the break. So, Mark, this question's for you from Chris.
Mark, do you know who Oklahoma played tonight?
Nah.
Okay.
I don't even know who they played tonight.
All right.
Well, I mean, if you're going to ask the question, give us the answer.
Well, they played UIW.
Ooh.
And for those who don't know,
San Antonio.
UIW is the University of the Incarnate Word. I didn't even know that was a thing, let alone a college.
But I did hear you say earlier they're from San Antonio.
Yes,
correct?
they're from San Antonio and Alamo Heights, Texas.
Is there arch rival Microsoft Word?
No, it's St. Mary's School. St. Mary's School of the Blind.
Probably there. Sometimes, Mark, you watch a lot of college basketball. Before we go into the offensive defense question tonight, do half these schools know who they're scheduling? Like, do they just go down a list and say, you know what, we're going to play them?
No, it's more like a pay date. Like, these small schools are just like, listen, we'll play you wherever you want, with, and at your gym, on the moon, it doesn't matter. Just please pay us, so we can keep our program running.
Right.
And that's usually how it works. I watched Cal play Sam Houston State maybe like last night or a couple of days ago, and they got ran out the gym. It was very ugly. Jaylen Brown, looked like the best player on earth. This is what happens. This is what happens. These colleges schedule games, and this is what they have to do.
Exactly. We got a call online. So, Brian, welcome to the show. What's on your mind tonight, Brian?
Well, what's on my mind is first of all, enjoying the show.
Thank you.
Second of all, the major trade that needs to be made in the NBA is they need to trade owners in Philadelphia as soon as possible. Okay? I'm sorry. I mean, how long do Sixers fans have to put up with this garbage every year, starting 0-12, 0-13? When is the commissioner going to come in and say, enough is enough, you're hurting you're killing our brand? I mean, what has to be done?
You're preaching to the choir, good brother.
Yeah,
that's one thing I could tell you. Preaching to the choir.
I mean, for me, I think it's really just after this season, I don't think they can. I don't think they'll be able to much anymore. I mean, they've got four picks, three or four picks in the first round this year with this loaded draft class. I don't think that they can really get away with it much longer, especially if Embiid comes back healthy. They're going to have too much talent.
Mark, I'm going to let you take this one.
It's tough. It's tough. I know they're supposed to end it with this draft class, but my thing is, what if this goes terribly wrong? What if the Lakers don't finish 4th or 5th, and they finish 3rd or 2nd, and you don't get the draft pick anyway? What if the NBA is just like, well, LA's our glamour franchise. Let's give them the number 1 pick.
Well, conspiracy.
Here we go.
So I'm just like, that could also be bad, right?
Mm-hmm.
Miami and Oklahoma City, they might continue to win. And then those picks will be in the 20s. And as far as if you look at the draft boards, who's down there now, I can guarantee you by the end of the season, those guys won't be there. When you see names like Dwayne Bacon will be nowhere near pick 20 by the end of the season. He's going to be a top 10 guy.
I think, Mark, wasn't Thon Maker up there in the 20s at one point?
Say that again?
It wasn't Thon Maker in the 20s somewhere at one point. And that's not going to happen.
Going to be there.
No.
This stuff is not going to happen. So, and here's the thing. The Sixers have not proven that they can make a good draft pick outside of the first 14 picks. I'm like, this could go wrong,
Well, Philly fans, I'm sorry.
You know what the Sixers need to do? They need to just ask the NBA, could they borrow Jerry West for a couple months?
Yeah.
If they do that, I think they'll be okay. Or you can borrow Mark Johnson for half the price. I'm like, I'm the poor man's Jerry West, okay? You know what I'm saying? Like, I can't give you the Jerry West of Jerry West quality, but I can give you something better than what they're doing.
With a beard.
Brian, thanks for the call tonight.
I have some thoughts on Philadelphia. I think that they just need to trust the process.
Well, yes and no. I mean, you still have to make the picks.
Okay, here's the thing.
What process?
We're also not adding in the fact that they're going to be getting Dario Saric after this season, so that's going to make a big impact.
Are they?
Maybe.
I think that Saric comes after this season.
Yeah.
And, I mean, you still don't know what you have with Embiid. So,
well, all right. Let's hypothetical here, right? Embiid comes back healthy. Saric comes over. Your front court is solid. You're set. You draft a guy like Simmons, hypothetically. I mean, that would
if you get the number one pick.
If you get number one.